Joining us tonight to discuss the state of the Philippine lending market, we have the President and CEO of SB Finance, Abbie Casanova. Abbie, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Hello, thank you for having me here. Hi, Salve and Ron.
So this boom in lending, you've been in the banking industry a long time, and most of the time in the early or, I don't know, late 90s. I'm looking at you because of your age.
I'm trying to remember what I was doing during the late 90s.
Late 90s, it was just 5, 6. It was, I don't know where else people got their money, but these are small loans because the ones who could borrow from the formal banking system, they weren't everybody. They were just corporations and big borrowers, right? And this is changing now.
That's right. So the landscape has totally changed, or it has improved much to the advantage of the consumers. So let me give you like a short overview of how we are now. Of course, coming from the pandemic, we saw that there was really an increase, a steady increase of demand for borrowing. So this is from starting 2022. And if you look at the landscape, so you have the demand, the borrowers, and you have the supply, us, right, the lenders. I go to the demand side first. So on the demand side, we've seen, and I just came from a BSP and TransUnion forum, so I could share more insights and more data, right? So if you look at the demand side and you cut across ages, the ones with the largest demand now are the Gen Z, followed by the boomers, then the millennials, and then the Gen X. And if you cut it by income, it's the middle income, naturally, then the low income, and then the high income. Middle income is about earning 20,000 to 130,000 a month. But if you look at the sectors deeper, sectors like MSME, Agri, the OFW, these are the underserved. They're not necessarily underbanked because they have accounts, but they are underserved. And now we're going to the supply side because the lender should also have the bandwidth to go and service this underserved market. So going to the lenders, as you mentioned, in the past, there were the multinationals, there were informal lenders. If I look at the data from the BSP, about half of the borrowers already go to the formal lenders. But what about the other half, right? The formal lenders, so we can classify them as the big banks, you know, the traditional banks. And now we have the digital lenders, online lending, and finance companies like us who are attached to banks. But if you look at the choices where they go for the formal lending, the banks are not number one. They go to microfinance institutions, NGOs, and then I think finance companies are number 4, banks are number 5. So how come?
Right.
How come all these years, even if presented with several, institutions, how come our population, our borrowing population, are still either afraid or going into informal lenders, right? That's 57% according to the BSP.
The shadow lenders, the shadow banking activities, that's 57%?
57%. Wow. But it can also mean that their priority would be friends, family, and then the informal lenders, what do you call it, shadow lenders, loan sharks, this shadow economy. So I think every lenders, every formal institution should aim to bring more people in the formal financial institution so that Filipinos can have credit footprint.
So how does SB Finance do that? Entice and encourage more consumers to veer away from the informal lending sector, right?
We don't call them 5-6.
I don't know if they're still called 5-6, but let's just call them the informal lending sector.
Okay, so if you look at where we position ourselves in the spectrum, right? So there would be the digital lenders that also can help bring in the borrowers, and then the traditional banks. We're in the middle. because we cater both. We have our digital channels, and then we have our ecosystem of brick and mortar from Security Bank. So these are, the branches who would also offer. So how would we bring them in? One is to match certain products that they are kind of familiar with. But with these products, and when we lend to them, they will start having credit footprint in the formal institution. So one of which, we have one award-winning product. It's called employee salary loans. So it's prevalent. Yes,
oh, wow.
It's prevalent among
I'm hungry now.
among employees, middle to low employees, to make bale. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we try to counter. It's not only the bale attitude, but the ATM sangla.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar with the ATM sangla. They give their ATM and then, they're given some cash, but as a loan. So that is to counter and bringing them in formal financial institutions. So meaning our rates are competitive. There's no hidden charges. We do salary deduct so that it's convenient, and we do 24/7 availment just via SMS.
How competitive are the rates?
Much lower than informal lenders, much lower than the digital lenders. Because we also have some leverage on their salaries. We employ technology to be able to deduct immediately.
And people understand this. I mean, when you start going into this market, this is a market that usually does not have basic understanding of compounding interest.
True.
Do they understand the benefits of going to the formal financial system as opposed to the Sanla ATM? I think that's really bad for people.
Actually, we really have to invest in teaching them. See, in the last data, again, from the BSP and TransUnion, Filipinos are not opposed to not learning. Actually, Filipinos, at some point, they were saying about 70% already have some knowledge of what a credit footprint, what a credit score should mean in their lives. But it has to be enforced. So actually, this is one of our thrusts in the company. Like, our mission is to be able to uplift lives, but and give them financial education or financial knowledge for them to make the right decisions. So it's not merely just selling or over leveraging. It's really to teach them to borrow responsibly, which actually we wanted to walk the talk. So we employed this within the company. We trained ourselves. We trained our employees to manage debt wisely. We came up with this. So this is called the Utang Manual, a guide to managing debt wisely. So we rolled it out within the company, and I think in the last 2 months we have been rolling it out to corporate clients where we have employees, where we deploy our e-salad facility. So that's the start, and we intend to bring it all the way to our motorcycle borrowers, to the todas, because I think we have to invest in knowledge, of financial knowledge to our borrowers.
Abbie, I've been talking to some of the bankers and I heard money is in motorcycle lending. Even the formal banks and the digital lenders and the digital banks are saying Filipinos are really borrowing for motorbikes.
The demand is there, but there are challenges. So we've been in the business since we started, about 3 years already. The demand is there because the mobility and the affordability of motorcycles are widespread across the country. However, the issue is on the risk cost. So again, going back to basics, these are like our average Filipino who would sometimes not care if, after paying some amortization, they would just give out their, surrender their motorcycles. But they don't know that it also affects their credit history, right? So there is opportunity in motorcycle financing. But again, it has to be coupled with the right kind of acquisition and the right kind of partners, because credit cost is real.
Credit cost is real. I want a big bike, except I can't reach the floor.
That's a big problem.
But the credit cost is not on the big bike.
I get some of your products that are involved with motorcycles, the salary advance, and also the ORCR for vehicles.
That's right.
But you have also fairly new or relatively new products that deal with financing for solar panels.
That's right.
Also for e-trikes. Specifically for solar panel, what signs did you get to enter this, to make this product? Was there that big a demand that you're seeing from your target market for solar panels as well?
So, if I look at the spectrum of our products, right, it caters to specific needs of a segment. So one product, it's like a multi-purpose loan, and with a higher ticket size. It caters to from your home improvement demands up to small businesses. And part of the demand or reasons we often see when borrowers borrow would be home improvement. Actually, that's a big chunk, and then the business, right?
That's where the solar panels come.
That's where the solar panel came in. So there were partners who approached us, and when we saw that it makes sense, actually, and it's like you're targeting two things, right? Sustainability of the environment, plus also making it affordable. So we've had several partners already, and now we're expanding it to more partners.
Abbie, what's your market share now, and how do you intend to increase that? What's the playbook? And number two, is the lending nationwide? Where is the biggest opportunity now? Metro Manila, outside of Metro Manila?
Okay, so I'll tell you our playbook, right? If you look at traditional, products or lending, it is still in Metro Manila, NCR. And it also includes the southern areas, maybe because the population is here, plus the income. As I mentioned, we are touching on the mass market 1, going up to the mass affluent. So if you look at income outside Metro Manila, it already falls below our radar, right? So most of our products and our market share are still within Metro Manila. And if we look at the playbook of SB Finance, it's really 3 things. Number 1, we want to go deeper into the market and wider within our segment, right? So deeper meaning like, for example, we're strong in the personal loans or unsecured. And we follow the journey of a self-employed borrower from when they started as a small business up to when they have a sizable enterprise. Sometimes we have borrowers that borrow 5 times. So that's what we want of more, to go deeper into the market, into our existing borrowers, and to cross-sell as well. And when I say go wider, it means that we also harness all our ecosystem. So we harness the security bank branches, we harness the partners that we have, our dealers, wherever they go, we also go there. We harness new partners, like our solar partners, right? So that one. Technology, of course, technology is really the backbone of it. We employ some efficiencies in our technology, including AI. And lastly, a trusted brand. So I think I also saw this in this forum that Filipinos actually care about the financial products that they use, because there's a lot of scams, right? There's a lot of harassments. So they are worried. So we need to be a trusted brand to see that, with the financial needs, they could trust us, just to do the right thing.
Great insights, Abbie. We have to come back to talk about AI and quantum computing when it comes to digital lending or just lending within your market. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
All right.
Thanks, Abbie.
Okay, thank you.
That's your Business Outlook. I'm Ron Cruz.
And I'm Salve Dupito. The World Tonight comes your way at the top of the next hour. Keep it here on ANC.